So now that Neptune is in Aries, let's have a conversation about spiritual rights and birthrights, okay? Because they go together. Aries is about the birthright. We are born and so it is. We are born and that's enough. Now that Neptune is in Aries, one of the things that my spirits have had me focusing on that maybe you could relate to is figuring out what my rights are as a practitioner. Oh, I have the right to practice this. I've earned this right in the spirit and I can practice this. A lot of the times with Aries, something that I found interesting that happens when you're practicing with the birthrights, whether it's spiritually or in your human life. Human rights is also a really big conversation and is very nuanced and very complex. So let's continue with spiritual rights. It is. Just, some human decency. Look at the world right now, okay? Okay. Sending love, for sure. Back to it. One of the things that my spirits have had me focusing on when it comes to spiritual rights, a lot of the times we are born with gifts and then we practice them, but we may not necessarily know what it costs to practice that gift. Okay. These are what I personally like to call the dark truths. Because if you're practicing in a rite and have no idea how it works, and then you go through the process of earning the wisdom of the rite itself, there is usually a lot of dark truth in the middle of it and secrets also. Dark truths and secrets that you learn about and end up keeping. In my practice, the Dark Mothers help with this, but there are many, many other spirits who help me too. I just kind of more openly talk about the Shadow Mothers on my page because I'm a shadow practitioner, I'm a light practitioner, I'm a lot of things, but you know what? The Shadow Mothers, shout out to you. Okay, so moving on through. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to air quote bad because bad is totally opinionated. It's not necessarily, in my opinion, a bad thing to practice those birthrights and not understand them yet, as long as you go through the process of figuring out how the magic actually works. Revere the magic, honor yourself, honor the right that you've been given, and go and learn about it. That's at least the process that Spirit has had me go through. Because the thing about Aries, let's talk a little bit about this. You might be born with the right to be a king or a queen or a ruler, okay? You might be born, birth, let's talk about a kingdom kind of aspect and your bloodline is the throne, right? But that person that's born and is meant to be a king, they're gonna have to learn how to be a king, who to trust, how to move, how about commerce and finances and stuff like that. What about ruling over the court and justice? There's so many different layers to it, you know what I mean? So if you were born in some kind of spiritual gift and spiritual right, then there undergoes the process of you figuring out what is involved and how do I sit in the responsibility of this gift, even though it's already mine. It's a lot, okay? That's a lot. It's a lot. The more, because it's Neptune, the more that you sit and learn about those rights in your practice, not just born in the birthright, but you also earn the right. The more that you do that, the more Neptune can help you to transition in your life. So if you're looking at making transitions for people who work with manifestations, and if you're practicing spell work or altar work or that sort of, however you would name that in your practice, and you're asking for something to change, that will be included in this as well. We've got 14 years of this, guys. That's a long time. So don't rush it and just, do what you need to do, how you need to do it. It is really up to you, and everybody's rights in their practice are a little bit different because we all come from different places and different people, and we all practice differently. So that's just what it is. Okay. That feels like a pretty solid place to start the end of this video. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up your brew. Keep doing what you need to do. Let the spirits talk to you about the rights of you and your practice and how it interconnects with your humanity, which for every single person, again, is going to be different because we're all different people and we all come from different people. So, including ancestral practices if that is for you and how you move in it. So, and I'll also say that as I've been practicing this and I've been learning about different kinds of magic that I practice in, which I have been for a long time, you know what I mean? But it's there's always another layer to it. As I've been doing that over the previous however many days or just recently, it's come into a focal point of start learning about this again. The way that my magic has changed is, we're not going to talk about it, but whoa. Yeah. Keep up your brew. Do what you need to do. I will too. It is. And I'll talk to you soon. For sure. Have fun enjoying your Neptune and Aries learning about magic. Yeah. Also, I went back and I was editing this and I was putting the little captions on it, making sure everything was what it was supposed to be, you know. And I said that human rights is a very nuanced and complex conversation. And also, I'm going to make an addition to that at the end of this video because I feel like it's necessary. Every single right that you practice in the spirit is also connected to your ancestors, which means it's also connected to your human. Spiritual rights are human birthrights. And where and how you as a person, as an individual, have been denied those rights historically is going to be different depending on who you are and where you come from. And there's a lot, okay? Because I know on my page, I talk to so many different sorts of people from so many different sorts of places. So this is a very, very general sort of like bubble, very general bubble. And even my throat. Okay, we got to clear it out. You gotta clear it out and get clear, you know? Okay. A lot of the time, spiritual rights come from your humanness of being born from the people that you come from. A lot of the times, the gifts that you practice in are because of the people that you come from. And so learning about your spiritual rights is also very involved with who do I come from? Where do I come from? Why have we been involved in our spiritual rights and our human rights the way that we have been? What have we had access to? What has society denied to us? How have we moved in that? Everyone carries different wounds. And those wounds didn't come from nowhere. So everyone also sits in a different level of responsibility and accountability of clearing out some ancestral cycles of what those rights have done in the world. And that's the extra note, okay? Needed. At least I felt like it was when I was rewatching it. I was like, I didn't do justice to that little side note. So I'm going to put the footnote that was connected to that note at the beginning, at the end of the video. Okay. Just make sure this is going to be maybe the last thing I say about this. Just make sure that if you're going through, at least this is what I do. Okay. So this is why I'm going to give this to you. Just make sure that you are, as you're learning about spiritual rights, make sure that you're learning about how those were ancestrally connected to you. Because otherwise, you're not doing justice to yourself, in my opinion. You're not doing justice to yourself or to your story. And the third, if there's anything that is connected to you ancestrally that is of harm, and I mean in either direction, either your ancestors were the ones doing harm or your ancestors were the ones who were receiving the harm, because we're humans. And a lot of the times, again, we're humans. We're going in both directions somehow. This is what I mean. It's like a complex conversation. This is something that we could talk about for literal hours, and I have 10 minutes in this video. I don't know if the video is going to last that long, but you know what I mean. Not only if you figure out how that spiritual right was sat with in your ancestry, not only is it going to help to heal something, it's going to help to reveal the truth of what you're carrying with you and why. And then you get to figure out what to do with it. Do I break the cycle? Do I mend the cycle? Do I bring the cycle with me? Is it a cycle that needs to continue? Because sometimes we talk about breaking cycles all the time, but sometimes the cycle, it needs to be continued. It needs to be carried. If it's a cycle that protects you and it's a cycle that really actually is healthy, you know, discernment. Everybody has a will, so do with it what you need to do when it comes to those ancestral connections. Because you know what? If you look like me and you're working with spiritual rights, there's going to be a lot of things you got to learn to make sure that you take your turn in the way that it needs to be turned. So sit with it how you need to, because not only is it people like me who watch these videos. So that's why I say it's like a big general bubble. Okay. I think that's a good closing note. It is a lot. Rights are a lot. And that's just what it is in the spirit. Rights are a lot of responsibility. Learning about them, practicing in them, it's true. So keep doing what you need to do. I know I already said it, but gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the brew that you do. I will too, because you know what? This is the season we're in to brew. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening to the expansion of the footnote for that thing. Okay, cool. I'll talk to you later.